Michael Jackson truly is the king of pop. Since taking to the stage at the age of 11 as the youngest member of the Jackson 5, he has accumulated 22 American Music Awards, 40 Billboard Awards, 13 MTV Awards, and his video Thriller was named by MTV as the #1 video of all time. The Guinness World Records acknowledged that title among at least 17 other world records he set, including the most #1 hits on the Billboard Hot 100 singles chart by a male artist and Entertainer of the Decade in the 1980s for having not one but 2 albums that topped the world's album charts. He is an icon, a legend, a personality larger than life. We meet the fans who are lucky enough to have close encounters with their idol.
You met the king of pop.
I did, yeah. It was in the zoo in 93. I was working in the zoo. I told my supervisor I had to go somewhere, so I ran away because he was coming. He wanted to close the zoo, but he couldn't do that, so he came with Elizabeth Taylor in a van. So the van stopped right in front of me. I didn't know who was in the van, and then I saw a hand pulling a curtain aside, and then it was him. So I went real close and I did this, and then he came and he did the same thing. I was like, whoa. And then later on, a much younger Gambe was playing hula hoop. And then I put the book in and he signed it and he gave it to me. So that was he wasn't wearing gloves anyway. He was wearing a purple shirt, a black pants, his hat, and a sock that glitters. Yeah.
And you saw Elizabeth Taylor as well.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
What a big star.
She's, one of the biggest. And then a little boy went up to him and said, hey, I know you. You're Michael Jackson. And he said, yes, that's me. So all these thoughts are so vivid in my mind. And it will stay there. Just like all the people who have gathered here, they all take away something from his words, his music. And I think it's a celebration and he lives on.
I think back to that time where I was in that national stadium and every single hair on my body was standing, and that's Michael Jackson for you.
So I'm at concert when you were about 8 years old, yeah?
Yes. I was 8 years old, my heart was racing, and that's Michael Jackson.
I heard that you had tickets to his concert in July.
Yes.
So how do you feel about it, that you're not actually going to be able to see him perform?
Yeah, I feel it's a great loss for me and for the generation after me and all that, because it's the thing about Michael Jackson is you have to see him live. That's where his magic. That's where you see his magic. So not be able to see that, I mean, it's a loss, but I think everything is God's plan. I have pictures of him every single album. I have costumes. I even used his costume to perform when I was in secondary 2. And I managed to win my school talent show performing as Michael Jackson. So yeah, it's been a big part of my life. Michael Jackson has been a big part of my life.
Well, I didn't get to see him in person or see his concerts, but I still remember as a kid, 5 or 6 years old, just sitting there glued in front of the TV, watching that VCR tape of his Dangerous World tour over and over again. And even at that distance, when I know he's thousands of miles away, that connection I felt. That is a kind of reach he has. I don't need to be next to him, you know. Yeah, that is Michael Jackson.
Just watching him perform, you don't even have to see him live. I didn't get the privilege of watching him live, but I saw him. I've seen DVDs and I've seen all the MTVs. It's like when he performs, he transcends the barrier of television, and it's so personal. It's like he's singing to you. That's Michael Jackson.
Will you be there? Because it was so touching, they played it after the Free Willy movie. It was a hit track like years back, and it's a song full of meaning, and it's just so touching. Really, it's a really good song. I actually listened it in the point of view of like Michael Jackson and like how he's like suffered throughout his like childhood and stuff, and how he sang it with such feeling. So I take that to where I hear the song, I think about like all my friends and family around me pretty much.
I read his book Dancing the Dream. So what he wrote in there was very touching. Something about the star and his dancing, how he just loses himself in the music. So even though he's not with us now, he'll always be there shining down on us, I believe.
Did you buy his CD?
Yes.
How many CDs do you have?
I cannot count. So many. Yeah, the poster, and I had the poster on my wall everywhere.
So only Michael Jackson?
Yeah, only Michael Jackson. I really, really love him.